In the scorching sands of Egypt, circa 1290 BC, unfolds a tale woven with the threads of love, treachery, and forbidden desires. The high priest Imhotep, a man of immense power and influence, finds himself ensnared in a perilous love affair with Enkhsunamun, the beautiful and deadly mistress of Pharaoh Seti I, bound by the strictest of rules. No man other than the pharaoh himself is allowed to touch Enkhsunamun. Yet, driven by their mutual passion, Imhotep and Enkhsunamun defy these sacred laws, indulging in a love that is as dangerous as it is forbidden. The lovers' clandestine affair, however, does not go unnoticed for long. One fateful night, Pharaoh Seti stumbles upon the two in a compromising situation. Consumed by rage and betrayal, Seti confronts them, but before he can act, Imhotep and Enkhsunamun murder him in cold blood. She takes her own life, leaving Imhotep to escape the pharaoh's guards, who are now hunting him down. Determined to bring his beloved back from the clutches of death, Imhotep, along with his loyal priests, steals Enkhsunamun's body and flees across the unforgiving desert to Hamunaptra, the ancient city of the dead. There, amidst the ruins and under the gaze of the gods, Imhotep begins the ritual to resurrect Enkhsunamun. But as the ritual reaches its climax, the pharaoh's guards, relentless in their pursuit, storm the city. Imhotep's desperate act is thwarted, and Enkhsunamun's soul is pulled back to the underworld, leaving her resurrection incomplete. For this heinous act of sacrilege, Imhotep's priests are condemned to a grisly fate, mummified alive, their souls cursed to an eternity of torment. As for Imhotep, a far worse punishment is reserved. He is subjected to the terrifying curse of the Homdai, the most feared of all ancient Egyptian curses. His tongue is cut out, and his body is sealed alive within a sarcophagus, surrounded by flesh-eating scarabs that would ensure his slow, agonizing death. But the curse does not just punish Imhotep with death. It curses him with immortality, a twisted, tormented existence, wherein if he were ever to be resurrected, he would bring with him a wave of destruction. The battle is fierce and bloody, with the sands running red as O'Connell's men are slaughtered. As the last man standing, O'Connell is cornered within the city, only to be saved by a strange and terrifying occurrence. The eerie presence of Imhotep manifests, driving the Magi away in fear. O'Connell is left alone, stranded in the desert, but alive, simultaneously. The city, shrouded in ancient mystery and deathly silence, stands before them, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. The two groups split up to explore different parts of the city, each hoping to uncover its hidden treasures. The Americans, led by Dr. Chamberlain, discover a mysterious chest hidden beneath the statue of Anubis. Ignoring the ominous warning inscribed on its surface, they open it, only to trigger a deadly trap that claims the lives of their workers. Meanwhile, Evelyn's group uncovers a hidden tomb. As night falls, the dangers of the city begin to manifest. The warden, driven by greed, finds a decorative scarab, but soon realizes that it harbors a living scarab, which burrows into his flesh, driving him mad and leading to his gruesome death. As the group attempts to make sense of the horrors they've uncovered, they are attacked by the Magi. Led by the formidable warrior Ardith Bey, O'Connell manages to defuse the situation by threatening to blow everyone up with dynamite. But Ardith Bey leaves them with a dire warning: an unspeakable evil is buried within the city, and they have one day to leave before it awakens. Ignoring the warning, both groups continue their search, driven by greed and the promise of unimaginable wealth. The Americans open the cursed chest, taking the Black Book of the Dead and the preserved organs of Enkhsunamun as trophies. That night, driven by curiosity, Evelyn steals the Book of the Dead and reads aloud from its pages, unknowingly awakening Imhotep from his cursed slumber. The awakening triggers the first of the 10 plagues. An ominous swarm of locusts descends upon the city, driving the groups back into the catacombs. In the chaos that follows, one of the American treasure hunters is separated from the group and falls victim to Imhotep, who steals his eyes and tongue as he begins to regenerate his decayed body. Evelyn also encounters Imhotep, who mistakes her for his long-lost love, Enkhsunamun. O'Connell arrives just in time to save her, and they flee the city with Ardith Bey, who chastises them for unleashing the cursed priest upon the world. Back in Cairo, the group realizes the full extent of the disaster they've unleashed. Imhotep, now partially regenerated, brings with him the second plague, rivers of blood. Knowing that Imhotep will hunt down the remaining Americans who took the cursed artifacts, Rick and the others attempt to protect them. However, Imhotep is unstoppable. No weapon can harm him, and only the sight of a cat, the guardians of the underworld, seems to drive him away temporarily. As the plagues worsen, the group seeks answers from Dr. Bay, who reveals that he is part of a secret society sworn to prevent Imhotep's resurrection. They deduce that the only way to stop Imhotep is to return him to his mortal form using the Book of Amun-Ra, which is hidden somewhere in Hamunaptra. However, Imhotep continues his rampage, claiming the lives of the remaining Americans and regenerating fully. In a final, desperate attempt to stop him, Evelyn offers herself to Imhotep, agreeing to become the vessel for Enkidunamon's spirit. Imhotep, believing his plan is coming to fruition, prepares to sacrifice her, but O'Connell, Jonathan, and Ardith Bay launch a daring rescue mission. In the climactic battle within Hamunaptra, Jonathan reads from the Book of Amun-Ra, rendering Imhotep mortal. O'Connell stabs him, and Imhotep's cursed soul is dragged into the underworld, ending his reign of terror. As the city begins to collapse, the group narrowly escapes with their lives, leaving behind the treasures and the horrors of Hamunaptra. In the end, they ride off into the sunset, relieved to have survived, but forever changed by the harrowing ordeal. The tale of Imhotep serves as a grim reminder of the dangers of defying the gods and the power of love to transcend even death, though in this case, it nearly brought about the end of the world.